You're just gonna die in the end.
If either one or both of these guys, Ventura and Amash, run, I think it's a net gain for Trump when all is said and done. In both their cases, I don't. I'm not a fan of either one of them. Um, Jesse Ventura, just because I think he's crazy. I think that's as plainly as you can put it. I think the guy's basically batshit. Justin Amash, I think Justin Amash is the ultimate opportunist. A lot of the libertarians are upset, and I completely get this. They're annoyed because Justin Amash, a while back, for those who don't know, he was a Republican, and he got fed up with Trump and left the Republican Party, and he went independent. That's fine. That's his choice. But now he wants the libertarian nomination. And a lot of libertarians are saying, hey, you know, if you, why didn't you leave the Republican Party and jump on board to the libertarians when you could have given us some pop? You were getting lots of press because you were leaving the Republicans. You could have helped us out a lot. Now it just looks like you went independent to get that attention. And now it's like, well, I want to run for president, so I need some pop behind me. So let me jump with you, libertarians. So that I do think he's a person that is just trying to leverage some opportunity by using libertarians. That's my own personal opinion. By the end of his term, I was not a fan of Obama's policymaking. As far as a person, I'm a huge fan of Obama. I think Barack Obama's a quality individual. I think he's just a really good man. So, given all that, no, I agree with you. Obama. It's almost not fair to judge anybody's charismas against Barack Obama's because his was just so off the charts. But you're right. I do think that the bulk of Biden's support is not necessarily fanatical support. I think he's our guy in the party. So hopefully, if Jesse gets out there with whatever faculties he has remaining of the little bit of faculties that were there to begin with, hopefully he gets out there and cuts a promo on those guys, because that's what I want to see. I want to see an old school Jesse Ventura and Adrian Adonis hardcore promo cut on the others. If not, I'm not voting. Well, I was gonna say I'm not voting for him, but I'm not voting for Jesse Ventura. I'm not gonna kid you. But he is a badass. He's a legit real world badass. Jesse, I'll give him all the credit for that. You can't take that away from somebody. Yes, and if the four of them were on the debate stage and it broke down into a melee, I don't care how old Jesse. Well, they're all. Well, Amash isn't that old, but I still think, okay. Let's break it down to hardcore rules in a fight. Okay, if you're going to pair them off one on one, Ventura beats everybody, and I think, as old as they are, I think Amash is such a puss. I think both Biden and Trump. Biden can beat him in a fight for sure. I think Trump ekes out a victory over him. And then Biden versus Trump should be the headliner. Biden versus Trump in a fist fight should be the headlining event without a doubt. I don't, hey, that's a just take my money situation. I don't care what that pay-per-view costs, I'm buying it. But as far as wanting to get out there, that's completely understandable. And wanting to do it sensibly is critical. But it's, as usual with everything in America, it's extremes. It's, you have people out there protesting, and then when they do it in a huge group all together, no mask, no social distancing, nothing that hurts your cause. And then you have the other side screaming and yelling at them from, obviously, from under their beds or wherever they're hiding on social media, that you're going to kill us all if you loosen these restrictions at all. And neither one of those things are prudent or true. So I do think we need, in the areas that can, to start pulling back a little bit, let people get out there. Hopefully they'll take the matter seriously and do the things they need to do to start opening things up. But if they don't, I think if you stay as hardcore as, for instance, Whitmer is doing in Michigan, I think it's going to get ugly. I hope it doesn't get violent, but I have no comfort that it won't. And Ken says, lockdown has given us enough time to do what is right, protect our old me, and go back to work. It's time. That's the way I see it, Ken. Start. And again, I'm not saying let's all just rush out into the streets and pretend this shit never happened. Absolutely not. But let's start getting out there with our new reality. Until there's a vaccine that can eliminate this virus, we need to always be constantly aware that the danger lurks out there. But I think we can do that while we get back to some semblance of normal life as well. And Dark Slifer, as we were talking earlier about, people complaining that if you're out there, you're just trying to kill my grandma. Dark Slifer says, "Speak for yourself. Grandma lived long enough." You guys are rough. The thing that really strikes me is the people taking these videos, the people observing these unidentified flying objects are experienced pilots. These are people who are out in the skies every day. And the reason that's important is if a noob like me sees something peculiar in the sky, how the hell do I know if it's peculiar? It's peculiar to me, but it might be something that goes on all the time. Plus, I'm not that smart. I've been hit in the head with a lot of metal folding chairs and shit. It might not even actually been in the sky. But these are professionals. These are people who know what known flying objects of our world can and cannot do, and they were stunned and perplexed. And that, to me, is what makes it more than just a little bit eye-opening. Some people have conjectured that the aliens have known about us for some time, but because they've known about us for some time, that's why they don't actually make contact with us, because we're kind of douchebags. I I can't come up with a good cogent argument against that. I could see that. The way we act at all times here in America alone, if an alien life form that is substantially more intelligent than our own life form was monitoring us and seeing what a bunch of assholes we act like most of the time, I could see them saying, "Yeah, we're not. We just got to hope they don't have a beam cannon that can take out the whole planet." Because I could also see them making that call, saying, "Look, come on, these assholes. There's no reason for them to be around." I can see us getting vaporized. Uh, Member Barry says, "Completely off any topics discussed today, but what do you think about all this stuff about North Korean leader Kim Jong-un being in a coma, then dead, then alive? Now, yesterday there's gunfire exchange at the DMZ between North and South Korea." Yeah, that area is just always going to be volatile. Anytime there's gunfire, it certainly escalates things a lot, because it's been a couple of years, right, since there's been any exchange. As far as Kim Jong-un, I'm not sure what to think. Yeah, again, we had him dead just last week, and now supposedly he was seen out at an event, and they could be weekend at Bernieing him for all I know. That Kim Jong-un out at the event might have been from something from the North Korean version of Jim Henson Studios. Anything is within the realm of possibility. Maybe it wasn't as serious as we thought. Or again, maybe he's a Muppet. Maybe he's always been a Muppet. How many of you have taken a remote control, whether, typically for your TV, possibly for, your VCR, because those are cool, or something else? How many of you have aimed that remote control at someone else and pushed the mute button to try and make them shut up, and then laughed hysterically because you just came up with the funniest joke in history? Now, I have done it 25 times because it's always funny no matter what. But because I had done it again the other day, and my wife made the face at me she usually makes at me, which is a deserved face. But I'm curious, I can't be the only one. Everybody's that's too obvious a joke for everybody not to have partaken. Whether, whatever your situation may be, whether it's your significant other romantically, maybe it's a brother, sister, cousin, something like that, somebody that you're around all the time. I want to know from everybody right now, have you done that? And have you had it done to you? Okay, Dark Slifer says, "I grew up with a little brother." That should answer your question clearly. Yes. So Lifer is on board. He absolutely did it. Maz says, "Have not done that, but I have used the universal remote to fuck with my neighbor. Was fun watching through his window as the dude wondered why the fuck his TV was changing channels every so often." That's quality. I like that. Oh, and having his curtains or blinds drawn so you can see the anguish. Oh, that's good stuff. Will says, "I usually add on, man, this remote must be broken. The mute button isn't working. Somehow I'm single now." I may be on my way, Will. Like, I knew I wasn't the only one. And Omega Project says, "Wait, there are people who haven't?" That's what I thought. My wife didn't back me up on that, but that's what I thought. Everybody pretty much has done this. Member Barry says, I've tried it when my mom was yelling at me, and when it didn't work, I said, needs new batteries. Then she took the remote and hit me with it. that that's understand. I mean, Barry's. That's one of those times where your mom whacks you, and you got to just take one for the team. And go, yeah, I deserve that, because we clearly did at that point.